Hey, everybody. Welcome. Officially, I have kicked off the recording, and this is February 21st and the Sigstore community meeting. We're going to start with a project round robin, then cover some outreach and events, and then we have some time for any other business as well as introductions for anyone who's new or wants to say hi. I've slightly changed up the format. You can see we've got one section for kind of the main projects, Rico, Fulci, and Cosine, then some of the supporting projects and the clients. So we'll use that format and see how well it works. So just starting off with the main projects, and I think Cosine 2.0 release is the big thing on the horizon. Do we have folks who can share an update on that? I'm looking for Priya or Hayden. Anyone else? Okay, we'll come back to that if they join. I do believe there was a blog post in the works and everything was imminent. I was hoping we could get an update on timing. But yeah, let's come back to that if folks jump on the call later. Okay, any updates for Fulci or Rico? Anyone wants to share? I see Hayden editing the doc. Hayden, are you on the call?
No, I don't think Hayden's here yet.
Okay, he's updating, then he's going to show up. So, okay. All right, let's jump to, since you are here, Billy, I see some Git sign updates. Do you want to tell us more about those, please?
Yeah, so people have been asking us for a bit, when is Git sign going to hit 1.0? So I finally put together a milestone for 1.0. The date, tentatively, I just pulled it out of nowhere, is I just set it to the OpenSSF Day for Open Source Summit NA. So I'm not sure if we want to do any broader things there, but anyway, the two things we're mostly waiting on is offline verification. So we found out a few months ago that like Git sign is relying on some of the APIs in Recor that didn't go GA. So we're looking to move off of those and only use the GA APIs, and as a result, also support offline verification and being able to generate bundles, although it'll be a slightly different format. And then the other thing is something we talked about a while ago, which is Git sign verify. So right now you can do verification of Git commits, but it doesn't do like the full rigorous like identity plus identity provider flags that you can do with like cosign verify. So we want to make sure we add those as well. So those are probably the main two things. If there's anything else that you can think of or want, let me know. We can add to the milestone. But otherwise, stay tuned.
Yeah, I was going to cough GitHub integration, but yeah. Maybe
I unfortunately don't have control over that one.
Only someone from GitHub was on the call. But yeah, no, this is pretty cool. So aiming for a 1.0 release, roughly May timeframe, hooray, conference-driven development. And those are the key features that will be going in. Yeah, exciting. Any questions, comments from folks? And assume, yeah, anyone who wants to get stuck in, is anything on like, I guess, documentation or supporting? The one thing I was thinking of as well, maybe I can help with, is like the Sigstore tutorial. Maybe we could plan a Git sign chapter in that as a way for folks to get started in, because we know a lot of people sign up and have done the course. It's something like 700 folks. So maybe I will add in a milestone, and I see Lisa gives me a yes. So yeah, if we could throw in some better supporting like docs and an updated chapter in the Sigstore tutorial, that would be good.
Sure, sounds good. I'll follow up with Lisa.
Great. Okay, thanks for that update on Git sign. Just jumping back to Fulcio, I see an update. I don't know if Hayden's on the call, but added support for BuildKite, which is pretty exciting. And yeah, I think we're going to get a blog post around that as well for the blog coming up soon. Okay, moving on to clients. I wanted to call out, at office hours last week, I had a notice of the Sigstore JS 1.0, and there were plans for an NPM private beta. So folks were JS maintainers Other folks, I see Brian on the call. Does anyone want to maybe just reshare that and tell us, did the private beta kick off? How's that going? What are you looking for? How can we help?
It did, yeah. Last Wednesday, we kicked off the private beta of basically being able to publish NPM packages with the Sigstore signed provenance. We've got customers doing that right now. If anybody here is NPM package maintainers interested, feel free to reach out. We can get you added to the beta. But yeah, feedback so far has been very positive. So we're excited. So, and hoping to turn this into a public beta, I think the time is sometime late in March is what we're shooting for at this point. So certainly will be more announcements coming around that.
Awesome. Yeah. So please reach out, folks, if anyone wants to join that private beta. Okay. Any other updates on other Sigstore clients?
Tracy, I can share at least what I know for Cosign.o. The last week we released RC3, and the idea is to release this Thursday 2.0. So we're using the last release candidate if we don't find any major bugs. So please test it if you can. But yeah, that's really what I know from last week.
Okay, yeah, no, that's awesome. So release candidate 3 from last week will be released this Thursday unless something comes up. Yeah, that's great. Cool. Okay, yeah, looking forward to that. And yeah, we can keep an eye on the blogs and stuff to get that out and posted and promoted on Thursday. Cool. Jumping back to docs, any updates on that front?
Yeah, the one thing is that there's been a lot of updates to policy controller, so we're gonna work on kind of breaking that up a little bit to make it more in line with what the other projects have, because there's the overview is very long right now. And we are exploring that kind of re-platform off of Nuxt.js, but we didn't make any decision, and maybe I'll follow up with you, Tracy, about that.
Yeah, sounds good. Great, thanks for that update, Lisa. Any other project updates? Otherwise, let's go into outreach and events. The schedule for KubeCon Europe was announced last week, and a quick search I threw up about, I didn't put the titles in there, but there's at least 5 talks that mention Sigstore, lots of different speakers and different types of topics. So yeah, really nice to see it heavily featured across the program. It looks like there will be a bunch of community folks at the event. There is no dedicated SigstoreCon for this event, but it looks like there's a self-organizing group in this channel Felix Wolf has set up. So if you do plan to attend or just have KubeCon EU FOMO, do join in there and see what's being organized at the event for folks to get together. Any comments on that? Okay, otherwise, Open Source North America, the CFP closed a few weeks ago, so we're waiting for the schedule to come out. But that event is likely to have a supply chain security track. And I believe the open source itself, the OpenSSF, has a call for papers, which is independent and still open. Actually, I will find the link. Because you can submit talks for the OpenSSF Day, which includes Sigstore talks. And yeah, it looks like if we're planning some announcements around GitSign and other things, that might be some good topics to put in proposals for. And yeah, a nice shout out PyCon. Yeah, I saw there were a couple of Sigstore talks. William, did you add this in? Did you want to speak to that?
Yep. Oh, sorry, I was muted. Yeah, I added that in. So I have a talk at PyCon about Sigstore and the PyPI packaging ecosystem, and then I believe there are a couple of other talks that will mention Sigstore in the context of general ecosystem health for Python.
Awesome. And that is April 19th to 27th. Yeah, great. And yeah, just a reminder for folks, like any talks on Sigstore that are out or that get posted publicly, we do add them to a playlist. We have a community playlist on the Sigstore YouTube channel, so folks can find the most recent talks. So just drop a note in Slack in the general channel, or just ping me directly, and Roxanne, who helps out with that, will get the talk added to the playlist. Okay, blog posts. We have this post come out by Matthew Benoit, a nice one on cosine and policy controller with GKE. And I believe we've got one in the queue that's waiting for the cosine 2.0 announcement from Hayden. So that will wait for the announcement to go out on Thursday, ideally. And yeah, final update just on the Sigstore landscape. I have a new addition from the Cube Edge project. So they are now signing with Sigstore and have added themselves to the landscape, which is, yeah, really nice. Okay, that's the main stuff I had. Do you have any other updates from folks? And William, I didn't know if you had anything like maybe on the homebrew side that's worth sharing, or
Yeah, I don't have anything prepared for that, but basically the status of things there is that the Homebrew annual body meeting happened a couple of weeks ago at FOSDEM, and as part of that, I brought up the idea of using Sigstore in Homebrew, specifically because everything is done through CI already in GitHub Actions. So it'd be a relatively easy lift to sign everything that Homebrew currently distributes with the ambient credentials in GitHub via Sigstore. And so the other maintainers are receptive to that, and I'm currently working on a proposal that we'll make public once it's finished. And so it's not fully public yet, but basically the plan there is to roll out Sigstore for client-side verification as well as CI-side signing for Homebrew.
yeah, that was very exciting. And yeah, I think echoing lots of folks here, just let us know how we can help.
Yep, will do. Thank you.
So, okay, so introductions. Anybody would like to say hello or ask any questions or anything? Floor is open. Please feel free to use it. Hey, Chris. I think you're speaking, but we can't quite hear you. Okay. Sorry, I'm lurking today. Yeah, more than welcome to lurk. And whenever you're ready, do feel free to speak or not. Okay. Anyone else? Otherwise, we'll. Oh,
I'll
Rob.
say quick hello. Hi, I'm Rob Underwood. Until last month, I was the head of open source at Goldman Sachs, and I was one of the people impacted. So I'm using my newly found free time to get involved in further groups. And this was one that I wanted to check out. So I'm just sort of lurking and checking out and seeing if there are ways in which I can be helpful. So glad to be here.
Awesome. Yeah, very welcome. And thank you for checking out the group. Hopefully you find it useful. And yeah, feel free to share any feedback either with the group or just reach out to me. Or if there's anything you'd like to see covered in these meetings, yeah, don't hesitate.
Thank you.
Okay, any other updates? I see Hayden's joined us. Hayden, hey, did you want to share anything from your side? Are you busy on cosine 2.0?
So I just left one note in here about Full CO 1.1 being released, which adds support for BuildKite. But I think, and I don't know if anyone's mentioned already, the standardization work that we've been doing with GitHub, but we've been trying to set a standard set of extensions within the Full CO certificates that map to claims from CI providers like BuildKite, GitLab, GitHub Actions. We just checked that in this morning, so fantastic. I'm really excited about that. So we'll start doing that work very shortly. So the reason I mentioned build kite here is, for example, right now we don't have any additional extensions that give you information about build provenance, for example, but we'll be able to add on to that too. So yeah, that just got checked in. I think that was the only thing to mention. I believe for Recore, we'll also be doing a cut soonish. That'll just be some bug fixes.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's a great update. Hadn't been shared. Is there a link? Could you drop that in our
Yes, let me do that.
Yeah, I'd love to check that out and encourage folks to take a look.
I just pasted the link.
Perfect. Okay, on that highlight, I think we can leave it there for this week. Yeah, next week is office hours. We'll be looking at, I think we have hopefully a demo from Josh Delitsky on some of the OCI integration work for Cosine. But we also have slots for anyone else who'd like to come along and do a demo. Just let me know or drop it directly in the meeting agenda. Let's leave it there for today. Thanks, everybody, and see you next time.